JohnHarters, I know that you agree with me on this because without inventory, without listings, we really don't have an opportunity, don't have a chance um, at success, right? The main reason we do all the things that we do, connections with database, brands, social media, et cetera, is because we want more inventory. And if the last few weeks are any indication, we're about to have John Hart signs all over SoCal because I think that the spring selling season most years starts right around March. I mean, we've had a phenomenal January as far as new listings go, fantastic new listings. So I think the spring selling season started early this year. Um, so one of the things that I want to make sure that we do is pay attention to what's going on in our database, right? And what more importantly, what our database is telling us. So that's why I think that you got to really pay attention to what I'm about to say here and why we created Inventory Identifier. It's very, very simple, but I will promise you, listen to me and wait until the end, and you'll know why I think that this is the most powerful tool that you have inside of Swarm. One of the things that I set out to do, that we set out to do when we first created inventory identifiers, because we wanted to remove the guesswork. We didn't want you to look at 900 contacts and get overwhelmed. Who's going to list? And you and I both know that we constantly see people in our database list their home with other people. And the question is always why? Why didn't they use you, and why did they use someone else? And the answer is simple. It's because there's so many agents in their database that the agent that's connecting with them more frequently is the one who's getting their business. But instead of trying to find a needle in a haystack, instead of looking at 900 contacts and trying to connect with them about a home for sale or their home for sale each and every single day, what we wanted to do is we wanted to remove the guesswork, and I wanted to create an inventory identifier which tells you who's likely to sell over the next few months. And the key word there is likely, right? It's not about guessing, it's not about luck, it's not about random, it's not about, oh, let me hope let me call and see if they're looking to sell. It's based on facts, and there's three facts here that I want to explain and I want to go into detail on. So the first fact is, and you and I both know this, and I've said this over and over again over the last 15 years. Research tells us that if a homeowner, most homeowners actually, don't want to be the first. They don't want to be the first person on their block or in their neighborhood to put their home up for sale, but they don't mind being the second, okay? Which means when a home hits the market, another home is going to hit the market shortly after. So research tells us, NAR, CAR, we've done the research as well, that if a home gets listed over the next 2 weeks in a 2 block radius, another home is going to get listed. Why? Because somebody sees a sign or gets a notification or looks up on Zillow or Redfin or your own website, gets a listing alert. And if they see another home listed in the area, that conversation at night with their significant other or whoever is going to be, hey, did you see that home that was listed across the street or a block away on the way home? I saw it. How much is it? Let's look it up. All of a sudden, they see 995 being listed by someone at KW, and then all of a sudden, you're talking to your wife about it, and you're like, you know what? If that home was listed for 995, does that mean ours is worth 1.3 because it's 1,000 square feet larger? Let's call our realtor, and all of a sudden they get a notification from you, and voila, they're calling you instead of someone else. So definitely in a two block radius, something is going to get listed again, right? Um, the problem is that it's not realistic for you to keep checking, even if you have 20 addresses. How could you check? How could I possibly ask you to keep cross-referencing those 20 addresses with homes that are being listed on the MLS? It's just not realistic, and it's kind of impossible, right? So the beautiful thing about our system is it does it for you. Every single minute, it's checking to see your addresses against new homes that are being put on the market. So that's signal number one, right? But not everyone who has a home that's listed in the neighborhood is automatically going to list there. So we went a little further. We wanted to check to make sure that those homes that are in your database had equity. And chances are, if they've owned their home for more than 5 years, it means that they have equity in their property, right? So we're checking to see if there's any homes in your database that have a purchase anniversary longer than 5 years, because that's what you've told us. So that's signal number two. Signal number three is behavior. What are they telling us by the way they're acting or the way they're responding to the things that you're sending them? So if your contact, for example, is clicking on listing alerts that you're sending them, that tells us that they care about what's happening in the neighborhood. They're paying attention. So click purchase anniversary, a home listed in their neighborhood means that they're more than likely to sell over the next few months. So when that happens, you get a notification in Swarm. You'll also get an email saying that, hey, your contact has been identified and they're more than likely to sell. So at this point, it's no longer about the system telling you to do things. It's about now you having a process to make sure that once that property is identified, once that contact is identified, they're hearing it from you a lot more often. So connection is accelerated. So sending them a regular CMA, sending them a live CMA, sending them a red box in the mail just randomly, right? Being a lot more particular about connection on social media, sending them video text, calling them about you having a buyer that wants to purchase in the neighborhood, not about their home, but a buyer that's willing to purchase in the neighborhood and offer top dollar. You want to make it consistent and you want to make it professional. So I want to make sure that all of you guys in your databases over the next few weeks getting ready for what I think is going to be the busiest spring selling season we've had in some time. What I want you to do is I want you to complete all of your listing alerts. I want you to, add your addresses, make sure that purchase anniversaries are set for each address, confirm their addresses, obviously, and get your contacts updated to perform. Please make sure that you do all this because I want you to really take advantage of the spring selling season. I don't think it's about luck. I think it's about preparation. It's about making sure that you're there when they're ready to transact. You just don't want to call everybody. You want to call the specific people that are ready to connect with you. I want to make sure this is done right, John Harters. I want to make sure that you get results. I want to make sure that we have our signs everywhere. I want to make sure that your name is on that sign. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you have, like always, if you have any questions about what I just went over, definitely contact me. Shoot me an email, and I'll respond immediately to make sure that you're set up properly. Cheers.